All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get this meeting started. November 17th. I am unable to pull up the minutes, but they were sent out, and so I hope you've all had a chance to review them. With that being said, was there any questions, comments, or concerns about this week's minutes? Motioned by Senator Govea, seconded by Senator Vargas. All in favor of approving last meeting's minutes, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and I actually should have done this first, but we'll move over to roll call. When I say your name, please say here, present, or something. Senator Price. Senator Manning has an approved absence. Senator Barrett. Senator Vargas. Senator Waller has an approved absence. Senator Rojas. Senator Tran.
Present.
Senator McCain. Senator Ocampo. Senator McNamara has an approved absence, but is apparently here. Senator Buchanan. Senator Scott has an approved absence. Senator McQueary. Senator Kirkby. Senator Gossett.
Here.
Senator Kai.
Here.
Senator O. Senator Lizama has an approved absence. Senator Carnes.
Here.
Senator McGinnis has an approved absence, sorry. Senator Holman.
Here.
Senator Santee has an approved absence. Senator Reed. Senator King. Senator Uden.
Present.
Senator Minnick. Senator McAdams. Senator Govea. Senator Niet. Senator Harlan. Senator Black. Senator Mattern.
Here.
Senator Khan.
Hello.
Senator Okiki.
Here.
And Chief Justice Burleson. All right. I will open the floor up to open forum. Is anyone here for open forum? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move to Speaker's Podium. For Speaker's Podium, we have a familiar face. He's the Director of Student Engagement. He's the Assistant Vice President of Student Success. He's also the SGA Advisor. He's Josh Nieavis.
All right. So the executive board asked me to kind of set aside my SGA hat and put on my main hat and to kind of just give you all a brief update on what's been happening this semester since this is y'all's last meeting of the semester. Hopefully I didn't spill the beans on that. Hopefully they knew that. Oh, potentially it's your last meeting in the semester. Sorry. So by a show of hands and a thumbs up emoji for those online, raise your hand if you have attended at least one event this semester on campus. Okay. Looking for the thumbs up. Okay. Raise your hand if you have attended at least 5 events this semester on campus. Thumbs up. Okay, starting to go down a little bit. All right, 10. Okay. Yeah, you just keep your hand. All right, so it's good to see that activity because I ran a report right before the meeting started. Since August 15th, there have been 497 events and meetings that have been hosted on campus this semester. That is a lot of activities, right? 10,172 check-ins. And students only is almost at 2,600. 2,600 students have attended at least one event on campus, online, hybrid, depending on how they checked in on Engage. And so that is a lot of activities. And so that makes me happy because we are for sure up compared to the last couple of years for obvious reasons. But as we gear up for next semester, I kind of want to hear from y'all as it relates to student engagement, your traditional activities, or anything in the Division of Student Success. What type of programming do y'all want to see for next semester? And all at once. Jorian.
Sure. I'm always be an advocate for remote campuses. So in Houston, we would just like to see more. We've always been trying to push to get events, and I know it's difficult because we have a smaller subset of students here, but just getting events to happen on our campus is a wonderful thing. And I know we've had a few this semester, but just more for remote campuses is always a good thing. So regardless of programming, more for remote.
What kind?
Sure. I think in our remote campuses, I would like to see events that engage our faculty and staff with the students. So whatever that means, to get faculty, advisors, professors from all engineering disciplines talking with engineering students. So if that's orientation sessions to get professors meeting students, if that's just a welcome week, if that is some sort of sports event, if that is some sort of faculty student competition, that's what I'd like to see. I think there is, as new students come into our 2-year program here in Houston, it's especially critical that we get them interacting with faculty, staff, administrators, etc., earlier and faster and harder, such that they have a really good experience with UT Tyler. That's my 2 cents.
Good feedback. Ashlyn.
Since the spring semester is coming, hold on, I hate when the hand is up. Since the spring semester is like coming up, could we do more when it gets warmer, like water activities? I feel like we never do anything with like water. I don't know how to explain it. Like, could we have like a water balloon fight? I don't know why that sounds so childish, but I feel like it's fun. Like things like that in the spring.
It's possible. Many years ago, we used to do freshman field activities. And so that's something we can look at potentially trying to do on the main campus.
Yeah,
I was
like,
thinking
just
more
step
like
outside.
canoe races. Would y'all participate if we did canoe races? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. The response was for the most part a yes. Okay. What other activities? A what? A blob on the lake? No blobs on the lake. Oh, the question was, can we get a blob on the lake? Then another question was, this has been a reoccurring question over the last couple of SGAs. Can we get a party barge on the lake? The answer is it depends. So didn't say no, but there's a lot of logistics and what would be done on this quote party barge is I have a lot of questions.
T-shirt cannon.
Yeah. Okay.
Senator Carnes has
Okay.
has a hand raised online.
Senator Ronnie.
One thing my high school did was student lock-ins. I would love to see that happen again in college level. We would spend the whole night just staying up, building community, and really getting to know each other. I feel like that's something we could definitely do.
Okay. So the response was more academic focused events, specifically on getting faculty to help engage with the students, since sometimes there is a concern with students interacting with the faculty, and in return, we should see a positive impact on academic success and retention. Okay. There we go.
Back off that.
I want to make sure we capture.
Hold on. Goddamn. Lost my train of thought just now. I'm sorry. I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
He forgot what he said.
Said a lot of high schools do that. Did you ask her if she's referring to the?
Ashton, are you referring the comment to the lock-ins?
Yes, I was gonna say too, what about like a big bonfire? Are we allowed to do that?
So the comment that Ashton wrote was a lot of high schools do lock-ins and also do it here, HPC, for graduation, and it would be potentially pretty cool for college students. Her next question was bonfire. We have discussed that at the homecoming committee.
Yeah, I was gonna say homecoming would be really good.
If we did it at homecoming by show of hands, who would show up to that? Okay. A good majority. Okay.
I apologize about my random outburst earlier though. So what I was gonna ask was like, have y'all thought about partnering with like academic success for some events? Because I know they've talked about they want more students to be aware of what's available to them resource wise there, but a lot of students, they kind of have that stigma of academic success, boring academics, no one really wants to do anything with them. So they've kind of been talking about they want to change like the image around academic success to make students think, oh, it's fun, but at the same time, I learned something from it.
So to answer that question, the answer is yes. So the Not Against Procrastination, the Office of New Student Family Programs has helped co-sponsor that event. And then the Office of First Year Experiences, specifically Adon, because he's our first year experience student assistant, has done like a resource reminder food trucks. And so that's been a great way to remind students, hey, these are resources that are available. Here's also some free food. And so to help kind of continue to expose that these services are available, and we want students to utilize them. And so I do think there might be some more opportunities to try to do some more. But when you start taking out some of the food, the social elements, that's when we start seeing attendance start going down a little bit. And so that's where we could use y'all's help, is when there is events that are beneficial, regardless whether it's academic, social. That's where we could really use y'all's help to help get the word out, because I give the executive board a hard time, because Midnight Breakfast is the largest, as of this semester so far, the largest event that's been held on campus as far as student check-ins, and it's ran by students. Y'all hardly do any marketing, and yet a lot of students show up for that. And so, but when we do events, we're doing everything we can to get students there, and sometimes it's a hit and miss. And so that's where we could use your help. Okay, so if y'all do have ideas, questions, we're not able to do everything because our budgets are limited and they've been set for several years. And so, but we always try to be good stewards of our resources that we do have. We try to collaborate with other departments to try to make sure that you have the best experience possible. I do want to also highlight that, and it kind of goes back to what I was talking about student government. Some of the best events are led by students. We have a student organization that is 100%. That's all they do is plan and execute events. Patriot Productions. Raise your hand if you've heard of Patriot Productions. Okay, good. That makes my heart happy. Yes. Ronnie, who's actually one of your senators, is the president, correct? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, applied. He's applied for president. I'm sorry. Uh, he is involved in Patriot Productions, and so I have with me applications to join Patriot Productions. And so at the end of the meeting, if you are interested in joining Patriot Productions and being an officer, applications are due on November 21st at noon. And then they're going to do interviews the 28th through the 2nd. And so we got to get rocking and rolling so that way we can do some training and planning before the spring semester. Being one of the perks for being an officer in Patriot Productions, or sometimes we call it P2 or P squared, I think it's P2, is it's scholarship based. And so it's not a student assistant position. And so you're able to be an officer in P2 and it not negatively impact the number of hours that you're eligible to work on campus. The scholarship stipend is $1,250 per semester. So if you successfully complete the expectations of being an officer in Patriot Productions, at the end of that semester, you will be awarded that scholarship. So it is a fantastic opportunity. It is a great way to develop event planning skills, budgeting skills, marketing skills. Those are things that can assist you in your career, and you get to have fun doing it. Sometimes what I think is cool is no longer cool. And so it's always best to hear it from the students, and Patriot Productions, they're a great way of doing that. So I have the applications with me. So if you're interested, see me afterwards and I will make sure to give you an application. Ronnie, you had your hand raised a while ago.
I was gonna say it is a really great opportunity to get to know a lot of different people and a great opportunity to plan events and get that experience. It is just really fun just to have that experience to put on an event that goes well that you just built from the ground up. It's just really fun.
Yes. I'm going to give you just in case.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me? Is it coming up? Okay, it is. Are the only options to apply to be an officer, or are there member positions? Because I'm interested in being an officer, but my issue is that I've never done anything with Patriot Productions. So I want to make sure that it's not frowned upon to be like, I immediately want to be the president of Patriot Productions, and I've never done anything with them. But so that's my question.
That's a good question. It is preferred that you have been part of Patriot Productions as a member. But that's another good point. You're always able to join Patriot Productions because they always need help. The officers need help. They can't do it by themselves. And so my understanding, and that's something we'll have to look at the application. Dawn is looking at the bylaws. And then the application is not. Give me afterwards and we can look at that. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears now. But before I do, if you do have any ideas, make sure to email them to me. And so that way I can see what we can and can't do, or get them sent over to the staff or P2 who might be planning events. I do want to provide an update. Earlier this semester, we kind of had a conversation about, transfer orientation. What if transfer orientation was to become mandatory? This group was overwhelmingly positive about that decision. And so I'm happy to report that the provost has signed off on transfer orientation becoming mandatory. So it is a done deal. And so we are making the necessary changes to get that implemented before the next cycle begins. The other exciting update as it relates to orientation, Dr. Colleen Swain, I have to give her props because she was able to secure a grant to help enhance student success and student retention. And part of that grant is to overhaul and enhance our online orientation. And that online orientation is going to be used for the students who are not able to attend in person, our distance campuses, and can be also used for not only transfer students, but graduate students. And so that is exciting news, and we're going to move fast and furious in hopes that we can have it ready before May. And so we've identified a company that's going to come in and help us completely revamp online orientation. It will no longer be on Canvas. And so we're really excited. It's going to be somewhat similar to UTSA, UTA, and a few of the medical schools in UT system. And so it's going to be engaging. It's going to be a lot more exciting than what we currently have. And so I wanted to provide that update to the Senate since that was discussed earlier this semester. Any questions pertaining to orientation? Okay. Okay. Any questions in general for me? Ronnie.
It is required for all new students that aren't transfer students to go to orientation, correct?
It is now. So starting in May, any new students undergraduate at UT Tyler will be required to complete orientation before the end of their first semester at UT Tyler. Since I've been here, it is highly encouraged for transfer students to attend orientation, but what we don't see that big of return on students participating in transfer orientation as we do the freshmen. Freshmen, it is required. But now it is consistent across the board. Yes.
It's just a 2.5. If you're a freshman, first semester, it will be someone based on your athlete.
Yeah. So for the back to the PT question, can anybody join as an officer? And the answer is you have to have 2.0, 2.5 for officer to be an officer, and 2.0, and then 2.0 to be a general member. You don't have to have prior experience before becoming an officer. So you can, in theory, run for president right away. Okay. Any final questions? Going once, twice. Okay, keep up the good work. I am my advisor back hat on. I am proud of y'all. This is one of the largest senates we've had for the fall semester and well represented across the board. And so that makes me happy to see a strong group of leaders that are representing the students. And so as your advisor, I just want to continue to encourage you to make sure that you're going out there, asking your peers what's happening, good or bad, and make sure that you're reporting back. There should always be something to report back during voice reports, because that means you're going out and talking to your peers on the issues that are going on. We are not a perfect university. So I know that there's issues out there, and we want to hear from students so that way we can try to be better. All right, that's all I got.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will go ahead and we put the agenda back up there just so you can see what's going on. All right, officer reports. So this past week I got to go down to Austin with Senator Okiki, and we got to discuss a variety of issues, but I actually got put in charge of a subcommittee that we are forming to help outline some grant money that the system is receiving to help our micro-credential programs. So if y'all remember, the provost came and spoke to us about some of the micro-credentialing programs that we're going to have. So basically all that is going to be is it's going to be students kind of outlining what they would like the guidelines to be for how that money is going to get used towards those programs. Each institution will probably get around $80,000, but they haven't publicized that the system has received the grant yet. So that might still be up in the air. They have received the grant, they just haven't publicized it. So we did that, and I mean, we had fun as always, getting to see everybody from other institutions, getting to talk to them about their student governments, because a lot of them are student government leaders, some of them aren't. But it was a great time. They also invited the assistant or associate vice chancellors for governmental relations, and they updated us on the past elections and then also what's expected to be talked about at the next legislative session. We talked about a variety of things. Strangely enough, cadavers came up. Don't know why. I don't remember why exactly cadavers were that important, but I think there's some regulations that they're going to put in place And then other topics included faculty tenure, school safety, yeah, among other things. But other than that, we've been working on getting our stuff moved down to our new offices, which if y'all haven't gone to go and see where they are yet, they're literally on the corner on the second floor in the UC. We're like right before you turn in to go to Stewart Hall towards the one-stop center. They're really cool. Once they get all cleaned, it'll be a great hangout spot too if you just want to come in and say hi or bug us and tell us we're not doing our job. Either way. But we've been doing that, and then I'm trying to remember what else. That's all I can think of right now. Vice President Bennett and Treasurer Luna are both not here. They both are dealing with academic stuff at the moment. But so I will go ahead and move right on to Secretary Dix.
Well, I hope you guys all know what I'm going to say. Keep sending me your headshots or nice photos and an answer to one of the two questions. So I want a little bit of a variety. There are two questions to choose from. The first one is, why did you join SGA? And the second one is, what do you love? The updated constitution is on the website. Chief of Staff Peter sent it to me, so the e-board can no longer vote as we were before. That's official. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, like Chloe said, I've been helping her get the website updated. The committee time constitution changes from last semester.
Events committee, we'll move on to committee reports. Do you all have anything to report? Valerie? No, you're good.
Finals week's bags. That's it. Finals week bags are just, we're working on getting those together. So yeah.
And then remember, if you did not go to the election watch party, you will be required to help pass out finals week's bags. There'll be different times for passing those out. Lost the mic at the second. Where did it cut out, Jorian? Sorry.
It was the second question on Mrs. Dick's questionnaire for SGA. Head picks, headshot picks, and the second question, the first was, why did you join SGA? What was the second question?
The second question is, what do you love about representing your college?
Thank
I
you
also
so
didn't
much.
really
I
finish
appreciate
my
that.
officer report. I also, like Chief of Staff Peter said, I've been updating the website, like with all the senators and the committee times and stuff like that.
But yes,
Thank you.
finals week bags. So if you didn't go to the midterm election watch party, you'll be required to help pass those out. Communications community.
Yeah, we basically just talked about the posts, and I showed them what I have so far. Everyone who sent me something, I've already made it, so I just kind of showed them what I'm working with and asked for some feedback. So if you guys want to see them too, just let me know and I can send you yours and you can say I want to change something or whatnot.
Perfect. All right, SGAC. Anything to report?
I think since Treasurer Luna isn't here, she asked us to speak up and kind of give some of the things that happened this week. WIMS, or Women in Math and Science, was approved for 3980 for some events on their December 1st study night. The Muslim Student Association was denied by Treasurer Luna because their request for shirts exceeded the funds that they had left over. Plus, they wanted them for next semester. The African Student Organization, or ASO, was denied because their shirt request was only going to benefit members of the ASO. Plus, they wanted to use an unapproved vendor. And then lastly, she would like us to note that ASHRAE had their keynote speaker event this afternoon, and all is well. So that's the update from Treasurer Luna, and she would like that shared on behalf of SGAC.
Thank you so much, Dorian. Rockstar. All right, Rules Committee.
just worked on a change to the Constitution that we'll be presenting next semester.
All right. ESC. Anything? All right. Nothing new. GSA. I actually do want to kind of have a conversation on this. Should I ask the Senate what we talked about GSA? Okay. Okay. This is basically informal, but GSA, this is kind of a complicated association because it hasn't been used really a whole lot in the past. And so I guess this kind of ties in maybe to constitution changes. But what I'm considering, and this is just an idea, is disbanding it as a standing committee, but making it a requirement that every student government that comes in next year has to consider whether or not to make it a standing committee for the year. I don't know if that makes sense, because I don't want to relegate it just to an ad hoc committee to where nobody will remember to, if there is a need to start it up. But I also don't want to have to, because we have to have it on the agenda as a standing committee and everything. And so if it's not going to get used, I don't know. And also, in addition, we have graduate representation in student government too. So GSA every year kind of takes an interesting format. It can either operate kind of like how the pharmacy student council operates, or where they kind of do their own thing, but they also don't. But we also have representatives from everybody. I don't know. I was just wanting y'all's opinion, really, or feedback on whether or not that'd be something worth considering even. Yes, Alexis. Here, sorry. Getting my steps in.
Could it largely depend on how much marketing is done for graduate students to join SGA in the first place? And I'm not sure, maybe that's already being done and I don't want to, speak in error. But I think if you market more towards graduate students joining and being able to give their voice on that, that might be a good way to start. But maybe with the way that you word it, is it just kind of like an optional kind of thing? So they decide on a case by case basis every year whether or not there's any kind of necessity for it?
Yeah, so I guess two things. So, Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the most graduates we've ever had in student government this year. So, we wanted to make sure there was an effort to have graduate voices, just because historically we never had them in the past. And so we're very thankful to have graduates such as yourself in student government and have that whole level of academia represented. But yes, so basically we have ad hoc committees. We have ad hoc committees, and those, as soon as student government ends on May 1st, that those all dissolve and they have to be remade if you want to continue them. So it would dissolve, but the requirement would remind the next executive board and the next student government to consider whether or not to re-establish it every year. Other ad hoc committees don't have that requirement. Like, we don't have to think about redoing the advising ad hoc committee, even though that honestly gets reignited every year. But I don't know, just an idea, I guess. No other comments, I'll go ahead and move on to student voice reports. All right, School of Nursing.
Okay, so we met with the dean today, and I apologize in advance if I forget anything because we talked about a lot today. But one thing that we talked about was just setting up some fun things for finals and like getting snacks kind of set up and maybe potentially doing some outdoor games like cornhole or Jenga and just stuff like that. So we kind of talked about that. We learned about 2 programs that we're starting up. So the CRNA program is planning to start in the fall of 25. And then BSN to DNP is going to start fall of 24. So that is pretty exciting news for School of Nursing. And we also have the Pre-Nursing Academy. They are trying to get things up and running again because they had started a while ago, but then, COVID happened and things kind of stopped. But they're starting to get things back in motion, because one thing that we also talked about was a way to get pre-nursing students more involved, because we feel like they just aren't as involved, or like we aren't doing our job as actual nursing students to get them involved. And so we were just trying to find more ways to do that. And so we kind of were also brainstorming on some ideas on how to just get pre-nursing students more involved. So yeah.
Hey, so I had my last clinical of the semester today. Yay. I got out early, that's why I'm here. Anyways, so this past weekend we had a service project. We had 6 nursing students show up, and then like both of our deans came, and then some other faculty came, and it was just super fun. We did run out of paint. It was fine. So they all had a really good time and said they want to do it again. So I'll probably schedule another one for next semester. That was the house painting with Path that we have done in the past with SGA. And then, yeah, so in our meeting today, we also talked about the new renovations that are going to be happening with the nursing school. So they're going to expand it and then like just basically move everything around so we have more space. Because if you've ever been in the nursing building, it's like really small, and we don't actually, I don't have any classes in there because there's not enough room. So they're going to like redo that. And yeah, so then for finals week, yeah, Robert had told me that there's going to be a table in there where we're going to be passing out finals week's bags. So that'll be fun. And then events for that. We'll have study rooms open, or like the lecture rooms open to study in. And then we talked a little bit about professionalism in the hospital and just making sure our UT Tyler nursing students are representing the school correctly, because they're wearing like, you're supposed to wear like these jackets to clinical, and people are wearing sweatshirts over it, which is like, you can wear them into the hospital, but once you start doing patient care, like you don't want to be wearing a cotton sweater. Like that's nasty, like, so we talked about that a little bit, just making sure you had the correct number of stars. And then we talked about our pinning ceremony for level 4 students and how it's going to be a little bit more intimate with just the faculty and students rather than everyone and their dog coming to the ceremony. So it's gonna be like live streamed instead of everyone there. And then it'll just be students and faculty at the ceremony. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome.
So Valerie already mentioned the path and how it was completed, but on Wednesday, Andrew Kraus and the Dean of Nursing School, they were talking about it and how it was going to work. And then the School of Nursing, well, for pre-nursing, the schedules, they've been going out and being done, but there were some issues with Castle Branch and the Palestine campus and their nursing. I guess the system was kind of like tripping, and some of the students weren't getting registered on time, and then the classes get filled. So that was just an issue with some of them, and that's all.
And what is Castle Branch exactly on? Okay. Okay. Yeah, oh, it's a third-party website. Okay. And it was a problem with that third-party website, or? Updating it and getting the correct records. Okay. Interesting. Who would, Josh, do you know who we would contact for that, or? Janice Miles. Okay. Could y'all send me their contact information? Okay. Awesome. All right. Houston Engineering Center.
All right, full back around, another report. It's been an interesting time at Houston Engineering Center. Since we're all engineers, we are all getting hammered for finals. So we're all going into our Thanksgiving break or our fall break with lots to do for prepping for finals. That's across the board for all disciplines. Additionally, our seniors who are all in senior capstone for all engineering majors, we have a senior capstone project. It's a pretty big time where we go in for design reviews, and everybody gets to pick apart all of our designs for our capstone project. So it's a pretty stressful time. But I think for the most part, we're kind of through design reviews. There's one or two that will be kind of after the fall break. Additionally, our administrator, Miss Christine Smith, has kind of floated the idea of maybe doing kind of finals alleviation kind of event where we have hot chocolate or something like that funded by the College of Engineering. So we're kind of looking at doing something like that when we come back from break. But beyond that, it's been lots of long study nights for most students and a lot of back and forth. It's been cold in Houston, so we're all kind of bundling up for all of you guys up there. You're probably used to a little bit more cold weather, but down here it's a little colder. And so subsequently, one of the things that's been kind of an issue on our campus is we have some kind of transient individuals kind of coming in and out of our building. We've had some of the HCC kind of resource officers shooing out kind of people from our UT Tyler floor, our second floor there. We've been having some kind of homeless kind of people coming in, occupying some of the study spaces. So that's been kind of something that's been happening. That's kind of not so great, but I think the HCC staff and the HCC resource officers have been kind of helping out with that quite a bit. But other than that, just going straight into December, trying to hit it hard for finals. And I think most students are feeling pretty good that the semester's almost over. We're all looking forward to the spring. Lisa, do you have anything to add for HEC?
No, I think you covered it all, Dorian.
All right, excellent. Is there any questions about HEC? We would love to have questions.
I do have a question, I guess. I don't know, Josh, if you would know this answer, but does our police station kind of coordinate with them at all or no? Okay.
As far as I know, there's not any, but that I may be ignorant of the situation. But yeah, I know that we have resource officers from HCC that drive around the parking lots. But it kind of just depends. Sometimes we have there's a big presence some days, and some days it seems like people kind of just slide in. We also have we have a high school next door, an early college high school where all the high school kids kind of come in and out. So sometimes there's just a lot of people in and out on our floor. It's kind of like the hangout floor, I guess. So sometimes it's kind of hard to catch who's supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there. So I know it's been a struggle for the HCC police force here to kind of handle it. So.
Okay, well, hopefully that gets worked out. I don't know what exactly we would be able to do to help in that situation, but I mean, we're always happy to.
I appreciate the support.
Yes. Josh. Yeah. Josh is suggesting a follow-up meeting with Dr. Garcia, and if there's any steps to kind of prevent that from happening. So
I'm aware, I think Dr. Garcia is aware of the issue. Unfortunately, he's been out the last 2 weeks or so. He's been dealing with senior design and some requisite things that we have to do at NASA. So he's been out. Unfortunately, we've all been trying to get a hold of him for senior design meetings, advisor meetings, and the like. But he's a really busy guy. But we'll sure try to follow up with him and see what we can do.
awesome. Well, we'll move right along to. Oh, does anybody have any questions for HEC? Senator asked.
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there. What was the question?
Senator Govea asked what the best pizza spot was there.
Oh my gosh, there's so many pizza spots in Houston. It's hard to list them all. I know a popular one is Pink's. Lisa is normally our foodie. Popular around campus. Lisa, do you know anything besides Pink's?
There's a pizza place called Star Pizza, and they specialize in deep dish pizzas. It takes them about 45 minutes to bake it, so don't come too hungry because it takes a while.
Whenever we come and visit y'all this next semester, we will have to stop by both of those places because why not?
There's tons of them. We'll be happy to take you wherever you like. We're looking forward to you guys coming down and seeing us.
Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and move right along to Fish College of Pharmacy. Student voice reports.
So we don't have like a dean yet. We're still having meetings with like dean applicants still.
So that's been going on. So I've just been getting information from staff. Not really a lot going on. I think everyone's just stressed for finals and all that. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yes, one addition to nursing voice report.
Okay, I don't know if anyone knows who Justin is. He was a previous senator. He's working up at, or he was a senator for nursing. He's working up at the UT Health and the CVICU as a new grad, which is like actually insane that he just went straight to CVICU. He's doing great and he says hello.
Awesome. We always love hearing from our SGA alumni and alumni in general. But all right, we'll go ahead and move right along to old business. I
Wait, I had
entertain.
a question for
Oh,
Macy.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ashley.
Sorry. Macy, do you know if, I don't know if you can answer this. Do you guys promote the undergrad research in the pharmacy department? Because I heard about it today and I didn't know that like the pharmacy actually did undergrad research. I thought it was just like once you got into the farm that it was research. Do you know if it's promoted?
Yeah, we do the undergrad research. It's really like selective. So as soon as there's like an app, I think they have a handshake, then you want to apply like for the undergrad role. I just start research like this week. I'm a graduate as a research assistant, but if you like, I can ask around, see if we have anything like available for undergrad people. But yeah.
Yeah, I was just like looking into it and I knew somebody that was doing undergrad. I just never heard of it and I didn't know if it was like promoted or not.
Yeah, it's something they don't really promote. They probably should. If it pops up, like it goes fast. That's all I know. So
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, thank you.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and move along to old business. I entertain a motion to discuss the Texas Department of Transportation grant letter of support. Okay, let me just share it. So this is just a draft. Just give you all a chance to kind of glance at it. But this was approved by I went ahead and sent this to the director of facilities, Dr. Andy Kraus, too, and he didn't have any problems with it. Josh read over this. Oh, zoom in. Sorry. Yes, I will zoom in. Is that good? And by the way, this is like a draft from previous student governments whenever they did a letter of support for some, I think, remodeling to the library. So if you'll ever get bored, feel free to come by our new office and do a deep dive into the SGA shared drive and look at all the old stuff that we've done. Yeah, we did get kicked out of student engagement. We're in our new office now. But yes, so this will basically just be sent to the director of the program with the Texas Department of Transportation, just kind of signaling that there's internal support for this on campus. So any questions, concerns? There's a motion to close discussion by Senator Govea, seconded by Senator Vargas. All right. What? Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and move right along to the rest of the agenda. All right. All right, new business. I entertain a motion to discuss student regent and the Texas Higher Education coordinating board endorsements. Carried by Senator Vargas, seconded by Senator King. All right, so basically all this is if you plan to submit an application for student regent, or if you already have, this is kind of your opportunity to speak up and say that you would like student government's endorsement. Whenever we send those applicants to President Calhoun, it'll just be known that these candidates were endorsed by student government. So doesn't mean that you can't still go ahead and apply if you aren't endorsed, or that you won't get sent to President Calhoun. It simply just means that student government has voted and backed your application for student regent, which it, by the way, is still due on the 20th, but ideally by tomorrow. So Josh has time to process them. And if you have any review that he would like you to do, he can do that really quickly and then send that over to President Calhoun. So if you've submitted an application, or if you plan to submit an application by hopefully tomorrow, feel free to put yourself out there and endorse yourself. Senator Minnick, hold on, let me just, for purposes of, what would the exact language be, Josh? How to apply, you would go to the student government website. There's a tab in the sub navigation folders where it says Student Regent and Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. But there's directions on there on how to apply. It'll take you to system website and yada yada yada. Okay, awesome.
I am currently in the process of applying for the student regent. So I guess I would like to put myself out there for endorsement.
Go ahead, peace.
Yeah, hi everyone. I have applied for the student region and higher education coordinating board, and I'd like to put myself out there for endorsement.
Senator Minnick.
I also would like to put myself out there for endorsement. Thank you.
You can also, if you know that the person's applying, you can also like just verbally say that you would like to put somebody else out there for endorsement. All right. Also, just by the way, student government can endorse all of these candidates. We don't have to just endorse one or the other, but we will vote individually. Depends on the motion. Just making sure that there's no other people that want to. Not necessarily. Let's go ahead and do it in alphabetical order. All in favor of endorsing Senator Alexis Minnick, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji or thumbs down. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none, that passes by majority. All
Are
right.
we allowed to vote for multiple people?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
All in favor of endorsing Secretary Chloe Dix, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? All right, that passes. All right, all in favor of endorsing Senator Peace Okiki, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. Or down, sorry. Any abstentions? All right, all those pass overwhelmingly. So whenever you submit your application, those will be sent to President Calhoun, and President Calhoun, well, they'll be send it to jneves@uttyler.edu. But they will be sent to President Calhoun, and he'll be let known that these candidates were endorsed by student government. Cool. All right. I entertain a motion to close discussion on student regent and the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board endorsements. I entertain a motion to discuss our last meeting. Carried by Senator Black, seconded by Senator Govea. Okay, so basically all this is we wanted to open the floor up to discuss whether or not this would be our last meeting, or if the December 3rd meeting, is it December 3rd or 2nd? First meeting time would be our last meeting. And so I know this is probably a weird question, but what we were going to do if we were not going to meet is we would do something interactive on December 1st, because we know that that is finals week or approaching finals week at the very least. So we don't want to ask too much of y'all by having to come to student government while you're having to focus on studying for finals and everything like that. But if there's something pressing that you want to discuss, or y'all do think that we want to meet, I wanted to give y'all the opportunity to vocalize that. But if not, I just wanted to see if there's any feedback, if y'all would be okay having this as the last meeting and then doing something interactive. I don't know, did y'all discuss this at all in events committee? Okay, pretty sure y'all were supposed to, but what we were thinking is maybe doing like some sort of like holiday kind of like event, just hang out, maybe in this room, have the opportunity to study. Go ahead, Ashlyn.
Okay, so that week for anybody that's in lab, that is like our final week for labs and stuff, would that event like would it be mandatory if
No.
you didn't have a meeting but we did the other stuff?
No, but it would be highly expected that you come.
Okay.
I don't want to require that for y'all, because again, like I said, unless there's something like super pressing that y'all think that we need to talk about and have another meeting on after Thanksgiving break, I don't want to put too much pressure on y'all to have to come, because I know that finals is, well, I experience it too. I know that finals is a big deal. So trying to be benevolent.
Say that next week or the following
Hmm. Two options. Yeah. So what Josh said is that the question was, what would the action be for this discussion, whether or not to cancel next meeting or to have it. And what Josh said is that there's two options. The executive board can either make that determination on their own in their executive board meeting. Yeah. Because we set the mandatory activities, or the Senate can make it a sealed deal and just go ahead and cancel it now. So. Motioned by Senator Govea to cancel our last meeting for the semester, seconded by Senator Vargas. All in favor, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none, welcome to our last meeting. I do have one more topic of discussion, and I wanted to talk to him about our meeting that we had. And do you want to help lead discussion on that? Or okay, cool. Then I'll go ahead and pass the mic over to you. Yeah.
I motion to open discussion on the Cowan Center. Awesome. So Landry and I were involved in a meeting with a whole bunch of the directors of the Cowan Center about why students don't go to the Cowan Center. Why don't they take advantage of the tickets that are provided to them? And it was honestly kind of a really big eye-opening moment for both Landry and I and the people at the Cowan Center, just because we didn't know how open they were. Just by show of hands, how many of you have been to the Cowan Center? I'd say around half. Perfect. Did you guys that went, did you pay to go to your show, or did you get a free ticket? I paid. All right. That's a lot of variation. just we're really trying to work on educating people about all the resources that the Cowan Center provides and kind of trying to incentivize people to go to the show. I know, I think it was spring 21, I believe. They sent out a big questionnaire with the election for that year, talking about what you would like to see come to the Cowan Center. Do you think that would be helpful again? So you guys are be more, I guess, inclined to go to Cowan Center shows? You think so? Yeah. What else should we think? Just this.
So what would be some ways, I don't, one of the things that we kind of discussed was marketing. What do you all think are some ideal ways of marketing? Because some of the things that we discussed would be having an Instagram, of course. A lot of what they do is they'll print something out and they'll put it on a poster board. Sometimes they've tabled to just, to promote events and stuff like that. But I was just wondering if there might be any ways that y'all think would be beneficial for marketing.
Yeah, like you said, I think an Instagram would be great, but also just like sending it like a schedule of like when the shows are going to be, if they even know that far in advance, to like the prominent like Instagrams, like like if Patriot Productions posted about it, I'm sure people would see that. And then just like I feel like more time in advance knowing about the shows, like the one that's about to happen, I feel like it kind of snuck up on me personally, so I didn't know how everyone else felt.
Okay. Senator Buchanan.
Could they have a show that kind of lines up with homecoming week to where like they have a big event in the Cowan Center that goes along with homecoming week? That way, like everyone will know about it and then they'll be like, oh, wait, this was cool. Cause I've actually talked to like some students who are like juniors and seniors and mentioned the Cowan Center. And they're like, what is that? I'm like, it's an event center we have here. But they think of it like a rinky dinky little just like theater that can hold 100 people, but they don't understand that can hold like multiple thousand. So
Yeah. Senator Minnick.
Isn't this funded by our tuition? Like the Cowan Center and the free tickets that we get, quote unquote. So I think showing how much of our tuition money is going to the free tickets, quote unquote, would be a good motivator to get people to come because they're already paying to go.
I don't know the answer to that. But that is a point. But yes, and for those of y'all that didn't know, there's up to 100 so far. They're willing to fund up to 100 tickets that they purchased from that show for students to be able to have for free.
Yeah, if I recall correctly from the meeting, they did say that the Cowan Center themselves takes a loss whenever they purchase those tickets. They kind of sorted out in the deal on the contract that's saying, hey, we were with the university. We're going to want to make sure that they're able to attend it since we are directly adjacent to them. So I'm not sure how much tuition comes out of it. I'm sure there's some, but I have no idea. We'd have to look at our tuition.
Senator McNamara.
I think that like really saying that it's free for the first 100 students. If I see anything that's free, I'm going. Okay, it's free.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that there was 100 free tickets available and I was in that meeting. So, but the other question I kind of want to ask, and then I'll go ahead and cut it off because make it a shorter meeting. But who would you like to see there, or what would you like to see there? Do you think that the events that they are currently hosting are ones that you were wanting to attend? Do you think that they could have, because here's the thing, and there's a lot of different variation in this, is that I don't know how many of y'all saw the spring 2021 survey, but there were some huge names that were on there. There was Mike Pence, there was Casey Musgraves, there was Bear Grylls, there was all different types of name. And you can go and actually, I don't know if you have access to it or not, but okay, it's not published, but I'm happy to discuss those sometimes with y'all individually. But they've had George H.W. Bush in the past and George W. Bush come to the Cowan Center. So it's not like they can't get people to come to the Cowan Center. They had Ringo Starr. They've had the Blue Man Group. They've had Damon John. Yo-Yo Ma. They've had, and so I don't know. I feel like that there could be some different people that they could go to that maybe y'all listen to, and it could be somebody as simple as getting people to just come up and talk about that's on a podcast you listen to, and they just have a discussion or something like that. Or it could be, you know, a some sort of Broadway show potentially. Like I said, some of these, they want to try and make them free and accessible to students, but if it's big enough, like say a president's coming or something like that, you're probably going to have to pay. But the important part is getting y'all to come, because it is there for you first. So is there like a particular like culture? Oh, sorry, I thought you guys were. Is there a particular genre of something that you would like to see? I'm just soliciting feedback. Taylor Swift. Got it. Ashlyn, go ahead.
I just looked on their website. Why don't they have any like Christmas events? Like they have one tonight and that's it. Like, do they not put on seasonal things?
I'm not sure if they put on seasonal things. Are you talking about Rudolph?
Yeah, they have that. So like, I wish they would put like more Christmas things in there to go and watch. That would like seasonal, I guess.
So they used to do seasonal stuff. Okay. Okay. So according to Senator King, they used to have seasonal stuff. I think one of the things too is that everybody's kind of struggling to figure out how to market to students in a post-COVID world. So because I mean, if you think about it, it's a different student now in a lot of ways. So marketing's a little bit different, and how people intake that information is a little bit, those avenues are a little bit different. So what would y'all, this is a stupid question, but what would y'all feel about Shrek the Musical? Okay. A lot of people like that. So at least I can hopefully have a personal stake in this. Go ahead, Senator McCain.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but for me personally, I just like enjoy watching plays and musicals and stuff like that. So if I saw more of those kind of happening, especially if they're like mainstream ones that everyone kind of knows, like I would go to that. That's fun.
Senator Buchanan. Oh, I will say one of the options that was listed on the playlist was, I think they've had Mamma Mia in the past. They've also had the option of having Jesus Christ Superstar. So they do their bit in diving into Broadway musicals. But again, like I said, if it's a huge show, a lot of that stuff is contractual with the people putting on the show. So there's a little bit of give. But what actually go ahead, Senator Buchanan.
So one idea could be that you could mention to them is, instead of doing just a general 100 students get free, what if they did like an event where they sponsored different student organizations? So like different fraternities, sororities, or SGA could be like, we want to book this event and our entire group is going to go. And then that way, like, because once you go, then you're like, oh, this is pretty cool, I want to go again. And so it could be a way for student engagement, but then also for them to get more students to come.
We can definitely bring that up to them. And I guess I forgot to kind of state the overall purpose of this discussion, but I was hoping maybe to create an ad hoc committee on this, because I would like to have y'all's input on this, and I think that they would too. And basically, I don't know how often they would meet. It wouldn't be super time consuming, but basically what's been happening is that events have been being planned, but there hasn't been a whole lot of student input on it. And so having an an ad hoc committee on to advise the Cowan Center on what they think, what students would like to see there, I think could be super beneficial. And all you get to talk about is literally who you would like to see, different ways to market. So if you want to be a part of a really fun ad hoc committee, I'd say this would be a good one to be a part of. But would anybody like to be on that if there were to be created? Okay, my hand's included, but cool. Then with that being said, I entertain a motion to create an ad hoc committee on the Cowan Center. Carried by Senator Vargas, seconded by Senator McCain. Senator McAdams, sorry, I didn't see who said it. All in favor of creating this ad hoc committee on the Cowan Center, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up to committee, thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none, that committee is created. Please reach out to me or I'll try to reach out to you if you were interested in being on that. And then I will go ahead and try and set up for those meetings to happen, probably starting next semester, since this semester is drawing to a close. But Senator Vargas. Yes. Question was, have we had a magic show here before? I think we have. I'm not entirely sure. We have? Okay. Senator King says that we have had a magic show here before. So. All right. Advisor comments. A big thumbs up. Awesome. Oh yeah. More clapping. Clapping for the advisor. Awesome. All right. Just a few announcements. Student Regent, Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. Obviously, we discussed this, but deadline is the 20th, but put it in by tomorrow if you can. Just so you give Josh enough time to send those and revise those if needed. So that way he's not having to do too much work over the break. Not revise, review, sorry. Bad words. Bad words. All right. Senator of the Week. Senator McCain, congratulations. Senator McCain was nominated for being a very active senator, especially within our college, giving great student voice reports, and of course, always being attentive and asking great questions. So thank you, Senator McCain, for all that you do. And since we have our new office space, we're going to try to get Senator McCain to be our first senator on our Senator of the Week plaque. So she's the inaugural Senator of the Week plaque person. Cool. Maybe. All right. Let me go ahead and I don't really think there's anything I need to share on the screen, but I'm going to do it anyways. Oh yeah, have a fun fall break. All right. Motion to adjourn by Senator Govea, seconded by Senator McNamara. All in favor, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? Seeing none. All right. Get out of here. Thank you, Zoom. I will see y'all